Every dollar is a little soldier, and you and your other soldiers, your job is to go out there and capture more soldiers.
We're back on the Money Isn't podcast. Speaking of Mike Arce from Loud Rumor.
What is the job of a CEO? If you know your job in that position, you have clear understanding of what your purpose is in the company.
If you understand what moves the KPIs and you're willing to experiment, you can literally drive so much more profit.
The most efficient thing to do is not to eliminate time, but to eliminate waste. You now start being able to take that into your operations. You can take it into finance. You can take it into sales, because you now are looking at it through a new lens. Now, here's what I'll tell you.
Each financial decision is not in a silo by itself. It has to be looked at how it relates to something else in your plan. And most people are not looking at the big picture.
I don't teach tactics or techniques. I teach principles and strategy.
I love it.
So not only will everything that I teach work in all industries and businesses, but it'll actually even work in any department. Like some of the stuff, if you look at it, you're like, oh, I could take that same principle or philosophy and do that in the finance department, in the marketing department, in the sales department, operations, whatever it is. So I think if we work on principles, basically means it works everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think if I could teach that, you're leaning more into wisdom, which is the thing I'm wanting to study as much as I can, and it's hard because I know it's a life's worth work. But
the principles behind the wisdom, and the wisdom is the application of the principles.
Exactly, and knowing when to do them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because not every principle is applicable everywhere. So I think part of the wisdom is knowing where it applies.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, because you have cognitive dissonance sometimes, right? Like variety or consistency, both are good. Wisdom is knowing when one is applicable, when one's right. You know, it's good to be frugal, but it's also, good to spend your money and enjoy the things you work on, but where is it applicable? So there's this cognitive dissonance where like both are true, two opposing ideas.
Yeah.
And the wisdom is like, how do I decide?
I'm speaking of Mike Arce from.
Are we already on?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I thought we were pre-gaming.
I don't want to stop because that was freaking magic. Okay.
Okay.
Seriously, like I was thinking, do I just start into the podcast? I'm like, no, I'm speaking of Mike Arce from Loud Rumor, and we're back on the Money Isn't podcast. Okay. But I'm really intrigued with having you on today, right? When I was introduced to you from afar saying, we have this really cool guest that we want to have on your show, it's like, tell me more. And then every business suffers from efficiency issues. Every business could be significantly more profitable within their own client base, with their own structure. They can attract more clients too, but many businesses are attracting clients, pushing them into a funnel that just sucks and it's not optimizing. And I think your shift, give the audience like a little background, like why is this why are you somebody that can demonstrate efficiency?
Well, our motto is GSD, which stands for Get Shit Done.
I like that.
And it's hard to get shit done if you can't be efficient. I mean, you'll get something done, but if you're going to live it to the point where your conference is called GSD Con, your podcast is called GSD Podcast, the shirts you wear are GSD.
You better get shit done.
You better be good at it, right? So
we tried to get our compliance department to say we do good shit. But
Yeah,
they
what'd they
wouldn't.
say?
They didn't like it because
Yeah.
FINRA. They didn't like
You
it.
just got to get a new compliance department.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's hard.
That's how it works. Find a new. There was this cool thing where, have you ever seen Tom Cruise? It was Matt Damon was talking about Tom Cruise doing this crazy stunt, and so he was asking Tom Cruise. He goes, "Hey, so how did you pull off that stunt?" He's like, "I've been thinking about this for 15 years." And there was this one guy that we're working with, and he was an attorney, and he said, "Yeah, no, you can't do this." So I got a different attorney, and so it was a really cool perspective on it.
That is the definition of a true entrepreneur.
Yeah.
No, let me get somebody else that's going to tell me how I can do it.
Exactly. Yeah, we have this thing that you don't ask for permission, you ask for the avenue. So, I've learned that when working with an attorney, you don't say, "Hey, is this something I could do?" You say, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do. How do I not get in trouble?"
Yeah, or better yet, this is what I did.
Yeah.
Fix it.
Yeah, that one's a scary one. That one you really have to have some cojones because you could really get in hot water. But I learned that if you say, "Yeah, this is what I'm going to do," that's it. Just it's going to happen. How do I not get in trouble? You do the same thing with your CPA. It's the same thing. You do the same thing with your marketing team. Again, it's a principle, right? It's
Your wealth advisor. Yeah.
But I will tell you that I've gone through a lot of training on efficiency. I hired an efficiency coach that ended up building a company that's now worth, I think it's now valued at 250 million, company Trainual. Yeah, you know Chris Ronzio? You know Chris? Yeah, so Chris, before he started Trainual, was my efficiency coach.
We've been trying to deploy that in our business inefficiently.
Yeah.
I'm just joking, but no.
Yeah, we have Trainual was pretty damn good.
I think it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing what he's built. I love Chris. And just hung out with him 2 Fridays ago. We spent the whole day together at his house in Flagstaff, and he's fantastic. I've known him for a
really
while.
Cool business.
It's a really cool business, yeah. And so Chris actually bought me my first vacation because when he was so I hired him as my efficiency coach. And it was like 2013 or 14 or something like that. No, it was 2015. It was 2015. And I remember because of the 5-year thing. So it was our first day. And he goes, okay, so here's what we're going to do. First thing is we're going to do a total brain dump. And I said, okay, what's that? And he goes, just everything that you've been thinking you're going to do or want to do and all that stuff, personally, professionally, everything. We're just going to get it out there. And then we're going to start prioritizing. We're going to get stuff done. I'm like, okay, great. So I put all this stuff out and he goes, I don't see vacations in here. And I was like, yeah, no, there's nothing about that in there. And he goes, okay, did you just take a vacation? I go, no. He's like, when's the last time you took a vacation? I go, I've never taken a vacation. He goes, you've never taken a vacation? I go, no.
So many entrepreneurs. I don't have time. When I leave, I'm still spending the money and I got to spend the money on vacation and I can't double spend.
Well, I just didn't value it, right? There's this really cool scene in Seinfeld where Elaine and Jerry, one of them gets upgraded. They go, we can upgrade one of you to first class.
Yes.
And she goes, oh, who's going to take it? And Jerry goes, I'll take it. And she goes, I've never been in first class before. He goes, exactly. You don't know what you're missing. So the same thing goes with vacations, right? Yeah. I didn't plan one, not because I couldn't afford it necessarily, but I didn't know what I was missing. I was like, I didn't see a value. Why not work? Like, what do I need a vacation for?
Yeah.
So Chris said, you got to plan a vacation. You got married. Did you get to take a honeymoon? I go, no, we didn't do a honeymoon. We're fine. And he goes, okay, here's the deal. I'm not going to work with you unless you book a vacation.
Love it.
And I go,
I like this.
What do you mean you're not working with me unless I book a vacation? He's like, yeah, I'm not going to work with you. Like, we're done. This is our first and last day, and I'm done now if you don't book a vacation. So that's the next thing we're going to do right now is book a vacation. I don't care if it's 2-3 days in California, you're taking a trip.
Smallwood Wealth Management is the lead sponsor of this podcast. You have an opportunity to have a free, no obligation conversation with one of our qualified advisors. Go to smallwoodwealth.com, schedule a call, or call us at 800-797-1000 and get on our calendars.
And so I'm like, oh, gosh, okay, the only way I can get more efficient is if I do this inefficient thing and book this dang trip.
Get away from work as opposed to work.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, all right, what do I have to do? I don't even know the first step. He's like, just open up your laptop, go to southwest.com. I go, is it southwest.com? Yeah, I never booked a flight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, where am I going to go?
Right.
I'm here. So he's on his laptop doing stuff. He's like, I'll just work on stuff in the meantime. So all of a sudden I book a flight. He goes, go to Santa Ana. I was like, okay, pick the dates. What dates you pick? And then I go, all right, done. Close the laptop. He goes, I'm done too. I go, what did you do? He's like, I just booked your resort. I'm like, my resort? I didn't give you a credit card. He's like, no, I want you to forever have the story.
Here's my gift.
I want you to forever have the story that I gave you a first vacation. So I'm honoring it by sharing that story here today. But
what resort did he book you
We
at?
just went to Hyatt Regency in Huntington Beach.
Beautiful.
And my experience of vacations was nil. So I thought I found the best spot on planet Earth. I'm like, this is the best vacation anyone could take. We hit jackpot on our first shot.
Yeah.
We booked our next one there before we left, and we went there 5 times in a row before doing a different thing.
That's amazing.
And then we finally went to Mexico, and we're like, this is way better.
Way better.
And then we started going other places. Now we've been all over Europe. And
how many weeks a year do you vacation now?
I don't know if we measure it. We just do it. So I would say last year we probably did 12 to 15.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and this year we're probably at only 3 or so far, but we definitely have some planned up. But yeah, so my efficiency coach
What was the residual byproduct of taking the vacation? Like, what happened to you? What did you learn?
Okay, I think the good podcast guest would find a way to tie it to some positive, productive outcome, but I just liked it.
You just liked it?
I just liked it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just enjoy it. Yeah.
I love it.
like if you want the truth, I just had a blast and I'm like, I should do this all the time.
Yeah, like you got a chance to be away and rejuvenate and spend time with your wife.
Yeah. And I do think actually, so if you remember in the beginning of our conversation, I said I like speaking in principles and strategy. I feel like that is just more applicable in more places.
Yeah.
And I feel like it does take more wisdom to be able to do that. So, I'm excited. I think in 30 years from now, 40 years from now, I'm going to be able to probably have a big collection of them and use them almost anywhere I go. But I think when I started traveling out of the country and seeing other countries and how they operate, I think my thinking got broader.
100%.
I remember I met this one guy in Sicily, and he just completely rocked my whole perspective on money and happiness and all that. It was just, I'm sitting at a table with my wife, and we're waiting because they don't eat until 5:30. So they're on siesta, and we're there at 3:30. So we're just drinking coffee for a couple hours until they get piped to work.
Really good coffee.
Yeah, really good coffee. And, about that desk away, so maybe like 10, 15 feet away, there's this guy that's just sitting there smoking a cigarette. And he hears me speaking Italian because I just recently learned Italian for the trip.
Cool.
And he goes, "Where are you from?" He sits down and he starts asking me about, where I learned Italian. I said, "Oh, I hired a teacher." He goes, "You hired a teacher to teach you Italian? How much you pay this person?" I said, it was like $50 an hour. He goes, "You paid someone $50 an hour to teach you Italian?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Why?" And I go, "So I can learn Italian." He goes, "Why not just hang out with Italian people? Like just make friends, go watch Italian things." And I go, "I don't know, that's just not the way we do it." I go, "Same thing with the guitar. When I learned guitar, I paid, it was like $70 an hour." He goes, "Wow, you paid a guy $70 an hour to teach you guitar?" I go, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "What, are you an idiot?" He goes, "All you got to do is find someone that knows the guitar, and then you hang with him. He shows you. That's it, forever. That's your bond. He's the guy that taught you guitar, and I'm the guy that taught him guitar. You're friends forever."
Yeah.
You pay someone. Are you even friends with them now?
No.
I said, "No, I don't even know their name anymore. I forgot who they were."
And you were never friends.
We were never friends. And he goes, "Man, okay." So now I said, I found out that this guy was a teacher. He actually in London used to teach Italian to people in England or London. So that's what he did.
But he got paid for it.
He got paid for it. So I said, "Hey, let me ask you a question." He goes, "What?" I go, "Why don't you do what that Italian teacher did? You can make like $50 an hour teaching people like me Italian. You already know how to teach."
Yeah.
And he goes, "For what?" I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "What do I need more money for?" I go, "So you could do whatever you want." He goes, "I do whatever I want. What do you mean?" He goes, and he pointed because we were on the water. And he goes, "You see that red house?" And it was like maybe 200 yards away. He goes, "You see that red house in the water?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I live in that house with my 3 best friends. You see that little boat right there?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I take that boat from my house to work every day. This is where I work." He works there. He's just waiting for a shift to start in 2 hours. I go, "Why are you here if you're not on the clock yet?" He goes, "My friends are here.
Yeah.
I live with my best friends. I get to ride a boat to work every day. I get to hang out here and hang out with good people, meet people like you. What's your $50 going to do that I don't have?" And I'm like, dang, man, this guy's just loving his life.
That's
and he's got nothing like, that you would compare American standard to.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I think that brings you a different level of gratitude and appreciation for things. And so I do think it can help enhance wisdom and broader thinking by experiencing other cultures and how they operate.
Yeah, I think the expansion that you receive from the vacation, from meeting people like that, the lasting impact of the stories and the cultures.
That was 4 years ago, and I still remember it crystal because it was so impactful.
Crystal cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the vacations. I'm a big fan of people business owners don't take vacations because they have to work, and then they burn out.
Yeah.
And it's like the rejuvenation comes from the vacation and, enjoying the fruits of your labor and experiencing and sharing it with your family. You have kids?
Yeah, 4.
Oh, I do too. How old?
Yeah. My oldest is 18, my youngest is 9, and then I got a 10 and a 14.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. You know what's even more exciting than the trip, though? The anticipation, knowing it's coming up.
Correct.
Like 10 more days, a week from today.
We're going to be on
tomorrow at this time.
Yeah.
That to me is the best part. But to get back to your original question of like, why efficiency? Why could I possibly speak on it? I really enjoyed studying it. And if you watch me and how I work or start my day, like it's incredibly efficient. And
how do you start your day?
Well, I don't have a lot of routines like people do, and maybe I should, like some of the hot tub, cold tub stuff. I don't know, but I like working right away.
Yeah,
I like to plan my day before I start my day. So I open up my. I also have segmented days. Not every day is equal. So today is a GSD day, meaning I'm just going to be getting shit done. I got a meeting with you. I had 2 other meetings. These are like non-focus days. And then I have a focus day where it's like, I'm only working on like tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a meeting.
Sullivan type thing, Dan.
You know Dan Sullivan.
Oh, sure do.
So I've learned from Dan. I'm in coach.
You are.
And
So am I.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I'm taking this year off, but yes.
Oh, yeah. I just started this year.
You did.
So I just had my first workshop. My next one's in like a few weeks or something. Yeah.
Who's your coach?
Lee
Brower.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy.
He's great.
He knows me.
Yeah. Lee's fantastic.
I've sat in on a lot of his.
Yeah.
classes.
So that workshop was the first time I heard it labeled, but I was already kind of running the operation.
3 days, focus days, buffer days.
Yeah. I always called it GSD day.
Which I love.
Yeah. I just getting shit done, like these random things. And then focus day, which I think I did call focus day. So that was kind of cool to hear like how he called it that. And then he has free days, which I don't think I ever. I think I just had one or the other. I didn't have a third.
But there's principles.
Yeah.
In that free day, like the 24-hour time period, right? And then like there's working in the business, and there's working on the business.
Yeah.
And I look at the buffer day as an on.
Yeah.
Right.
The buffers, you're on the business.
Yeah, like cleaning up shit, cleaning up messes.
Oh, to me, that's in the business.
Yeah, no.
Isn't in the business working on shit?
Well, to me, in the business is like making money. Like Dan, a focus day for Dan is when he's teaching.
See, my interpretation, the way I do it, a focus day is I'm only working on the 1 or 2 things that nobody else in the company can do.
That's a focus day, yeah.
Yeah, that's a focus day. And these are the things I'm doing that like move the company forward. And so I don't even check emails on that day.
Yeah.
I don't dive into
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I work on.
But
so
the
like
buffer day is, but like to me, my definition is I make money when I'm in the focus day. I clean up messes and work on the business and make changes on the buffer day.
On the buffer day, the GSD
so I'm not getting results.
Yeah. And sometimes you could make money on both. They're interchangeable.
Oh, you make money,
Yeah.
because you're making policy and you're getting you're cleaning up messes.
Right, 100%. So I start by going, okay, like what day is it today? Now I know what day it is. And now I look at the things that I've got to get done. Like, is there anything that's like timely? Like, it's got to get done. And then if there's nothing timely, then I could always wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I just look at the things that I must do and I prioritize them. And the way I prioritize them is the opposite of what our gut tells us to do. Our gut, so we have this dopamine thirst. We're always thirsting for dopamine. And that's why, like, especially now with the phones, right? Like every time you check your notifications, you get a dopamine hit. You got a notification, you got an email.
And you end up scrolling.
Because it's more dopamine hits. You get a like, it's a dopamine hit. So we're searching for dopamine hits. One of the best ways to get a dopamine hit is to check off a task from your task list. If you have 7 things on your task, every time you check one, it's a dopamine hit. And the last one is the biggest one of all because you're checking off the task and the whole list.
Correct.
So what people do is because we're more addicted to the dopamine than logic and efficiency is we will start with the 5-minute ones. So we have 7 things on our list and we go, okay, well, this one's only gonna take me 2 minutes. This will take me 5 minutes. This will take me 3 minutes because we're really chasing the dopamine hit, but we're dressing it as efficiency.
Yeah.
But in reality, the best thing to do is regardless of how long it takes, you go, which one is the one that if the building were going to burn down and I could only get one done, which is the one that I'm at least glad I got down.
Correct.
Right? You move that to the top. And then you go, okay, cool. Now, let's say I was able to get 2 things done. What would be the next thing I'm glad I got done? And then you just keep doing that. And now you have your priority list. And you work top down, regardless of how long each one takes you. Yeah. And now I don't have to wonder, what should I work on next? It's top down, all the way down.
Yeah.
But you can apply that same principle with like lead follow-up and all. I think the big thing that a lot of people make mistakes on, and it's hot on my mind now because I had to correct my team on it, is they confuse efficiency with the elimination of time. So like if I can get a lot done in the same amount of time, or less time, it's efficient. But efficiency is more about the elimination of waste.
Correct.
So I'll give an example I gave to my team because what happened was we got 150 leads in from this one email we sent, right?
Oh, wow, nice.
150 leads in, it's pretty good. And what they did was they sent a text message blast out to every one of them asking to schedule a call.
Overwhelm.
They got 2 calls back. That's it. And so I went into the room and I go, let me ask you a question. Did anybody pick up the phone to call any of these leads? And they were like, no, well, we wanted to get ahead of all of them, so we just text them all. And I go, yeah, but you only had 2 people book. He goes, yeah. And I go, and you felt it was efficient because you were able to get a message to all 150 in 2 minutes, right?
Right.
Yes. Now I want to paint a different picture for you. I want you to imagine this. You have 2 different sales reps. And one of them can reach out to all 150 leads in 2 minutes, and he gets 2 calls out of it. The other one calls every one of those leads, and it takes him 2 full days to call 150 of those leads, but he books 30 appointments because he made contact like that.
Which is more efficient.
Which is more efficient. And they go, that one. Yes. You think it's an elimination of time, but it's an elimination of waste. You wasted opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. And the people, how many people in business flush those opportunities down? Like those 148 leads that didn't book now are in some kind of nurture campaign that are not getting, they're never getting a phone call. If they don't get a phone call.
Well, here's the truth. The people that were going to follow up with those leads, they're not salespeople. It was one of my coaches that my manager put in charge. And so if you think about a coach, typically a coach is a words of affirmation love language.
Correct.
Typically.
Okay.
And salespeople can be too. Well, that means they don't want to get rejected. Well, what's the easiest way to not get rejected?
Don't make a phone call.
Right. Because if you send a text, hey, I got 2 people follow up. So you only heard about the wins.
Yeah.
But you got 148 people reject you.
But 148 people didn't respond to you, so therefore you got rejected.
It's still coming in.
Internalize that the same way.
Yeah, but on the phone you hear it, right?
Yes.
And so really what they did was they dressed fear and the avoidance of fear and rejection, they dressed it as efficiency in order to feel productive. Right? That's what happened. Whether they were consciously or unconsciously doing it, that's what happened. But in reality, if you're really looking for efficiency, eliminate waste. Like every lead, the best way to reach them is to call them. If they don't answer, call them right back. Don't leave a voicemail, call right back. And it's a double call. And then if they answer on the second call, go, hey, I'm so sorry. I need to call you twice. Just saw that you filled out the form. And that's it. You're in the call. It's like never even happened.
Yeah. So let's go back for a second. Your business, the one that's on your hat, the Loud Rumor.
Yeah.
How did you start that? How did you come up with the name? What's the meaning behind the name, and what does it do?
Yeah, the name is nothing crazy or unique. So I had a company called Fast Rumor that I started with my cousin, and it was a company similar to Yelp.
Okay.
And then we found out Yelp existed, and I'm like, we don't need 2 Yelps, and Yelp was more funded. And so from that point, I'm like, hey, look, I want to start another company. Let's just start doing other stuff. So Fast Rumor used to be a web design company.
Okay.
After doing that for a few months, we made a little bit of money, but my cousin just wasn't built for entrepreneurship, or at least maybe not at the time.
Right.
And so she wanted to go back to getting a job, and I continued on. But she did want to keep some sort of like a freelance thing going where she helps fix computers.
Yeah.
And so she started Fast Fix Solutions. She kept Fast, and I started Loud Rumor. I kept Rumor, and then it's just Loud Rumor. So there's no logic. Like, don't get excited about it.
Right.
And we wanted a name that allowed us to be flexible, which it has, right? This company has been a Yelp type company. It's been a web design company. It's been a hosting company. It's been a paid ads company. And now it's a company that helps gyms be successful.
Which is really intriguing to me, because I think a gym is no different than any other business. There's a whole bunch of leads flowing in. There's members that are there. There are members that don't show up. There are members that don't renew. Like,
there is one difference. So the average private sector business, people that start those businesses, there's a 20% first year failure rate. So 20% of the businesses that start in the average private sector business, 20% will fail in the first year. With gyms, it's 81%.
81%?
So it's 4 times harder to make a gym successful versus the average private sector business.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. And so it's just hard because it's so easy to get into a gym. So there's not a big barrier to get in.
Right.
There's very passionate people that are very married to them being the person that helps get people in shape. And so they have a hard time passing on that skill set or object to somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a little bit more of a difficult model to be successful in, because there's a cap. Like at some point you hit a plateau because you can't outsell your churn.
Correct.
And you're going to have churn because people move, and even if you have a low churn, right, you still can't outsell it. And also a building can only hold so many people. That's why you get some churn. Sometimes you get to the point where you're at capacity and people have a hard time being able to schedule a time to get in because it's filled. And so they're like, I'm not getting my value. So they start canceling. So,
correct.
So there's just a cap. And if you don't know how to price effectively, I'm a big student of pricing psychology. I love studying pricing. If you don't know how to price effectively and you don't know how to be efficient in your management and your operations, then you could be hitting capacity and still not be profitable.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
That
right?
really
And then I
sucks.
have other people that are only at 50% capacity and they're profiting 40%.
Oh, wow.
So it's really like, if the entrepreneur is not an entrepreneur, they're not training to be an entrepreneur, they have failure rates. Now, here's what I'll tell you. The The average private sector business, 9% of them ever make $1 million a year. With gyms, it's about 0.5% make $1 million a year. With ours, 40% of our gyms make $1 million a year or more.
That's pretty good metrics.
Yeah, we have the top 1, 2, and I think 4 F45 in the entire world out of 3,000 locations, and the average F45 does 22,000 a month. That's like I think the average. At least that was the most updated average I heard.
Yeah.
And it was believed that they can't do more than like 80 or 90,000. And we have all 3 gyms are doing over 100,000, and one of them is doing 141,000 a month.
Wow.
And consistently. So
I went to one I did 680 F45s.
you did? What do you mean you did one?
Classes.
Oh, you did? You were a member
like in a
there.
row.
Okay.
And then I found Superhuman, and I actually transformed. But
so you're part of Superhuman, with John Madsen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
cool.
So I love the F45 model because it was so consistent, but like they do hit a capacity. So like you would think that the franchise would have that all those metrics beautifully dialed in.
Here's the advantage I have that a franchise doesn't have: variety. I get to look on the inside, behind the curtains of 60 plus franchises that I work with. I think humans are pretty bad at creating, but we're really good at combining.
Yes.
If you think of most ideas, any creation is usually the combination of 2 existing things.
Yeah.
So like this podcast is what, like a radio show and internet video. I mean, like it's like we're
It's
combining
a video sales letter from back in the day.
a video sales letter combined with interview that you would see Larry King do, right?
Correct.
Like we're combining things. This isn't completely new. And so with the ability to see behind the curtains of so many franchises, even though this franchise isn't that successful and this franchise isn't that successful, this one does that one thing really freaking well. And this one does that one thing really freaking well. And so I'm able to just take the best ingredients of everybody and create
them.
Optimus Prime. And so we have, I believe, the ultimate franchise model. And here's the difference. I think some franchises initially are worried when their franchisees come to us because they think we're going to make them do things outside of franchise.
Yeah.
But once they realize, oh, they don't teach tactics, they teach principles.
Correct.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh, our best franchisees are here and they're following our process. So we're just teaching them how to run the right way, how to be an entrepreneur, and we're giving them a perspective. I think the easiest way to shift behavior is to shift perspective. If I can shift your perspective, the behavior just follows. And so we help them shift perspective on so many things that eventually they're just operating at a higher level.
Give me an example of a shift of perspective.
Yeah, the easiest one to just see how drastic it can be. I want you to imagine guy goes to the DMV, okay? And you've been to the DMV before?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks. Like 2 to 3 hours you're sitting there. Okay, so this guy goes, I'm going to bring a book, at least be productive. So he brings this book and he's reading it, and there's these 3 kids that are just bumping into him, stepping on his shoes, hitting the book. And so he's like, oh. He looks over next to him, there's this woman, and she's like scrolling on her phone. It's her mom. So he's kind of annoyed, right? And so he starts making passive-aggressive sounds to get her attention. Like, oh, careful. Oh, guys, careful. You stepped on my shoes there. But it's for her. She doesn't catch it. She's still just scrolling on her phone.
Totally checked out.
Totally checked out. Now, what do you think his thoughts are on her?
She's bad.
She's a bad mom, right?
Yeah.
Not being engaged with her kids, letting them run amok, disrespectful to other people.
Lazy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Right, lazy. What do you think his perspective is of these kids?
They're unruly.
Unruling, right. Now, all of a sudden, he can't take it anymore. He goes, excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. Can you please just watch your kids? Or they're bumping into me. They're bumping into other people. You're sitting on your phone. Just watch them, please. And she looks up from her phone and her eyes are glassed. You can tell she's been crying. And she goes, I'm so sorry. Kids, you're right. Kids, come here. Please come to mommy. I'm sorry. Their father just died yesterday and I'm doing my best to figure out everything. And people are messaging me, asking me what's happening. And it's just a lot. But you're right. Kids, come here. Now, she was lazy. What is she now?
I need to help her. Yeah.
Is she lazy though?
No.
Is she getting shit done?
She's getting shit done.
Does she have a lot on her head?
Her husband died yesterday and she's in the DMV.
With the kids.
With the kids.
Answering messages.
Yeah.
Researching something else that she's got to get done.
Yeah.
Opposite of lazy, right?
Total.
What about these kids? Unruling?
No.
What are they?
They are upset. And
Lost
they
souls.
Lost souls.
Confused.
Yeah.
What's my life going to look like now?
Yeah. Don't know.
So now all of a sudden, before this, the guy, let's say he decided he didn't have the perspective shift, but he wanted to have good behavior. So maybe he would have just took a deep breath. That's a tactic.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have 10, 9, 8. That's a tactic. Maybe he would have just moved. That's a tactic.
That's the tactic.
And all that would have given him a better behavior than going, excuse me, right? But now with this new perspective shift, he goes, hey kids, you want to see something pretty cool? Check this out. It's me at the Grand Canyon. You ever been there before? So now he's doing what?
He's now engaging them, and he's now totally no longer pissed off at them.
Is he forcing himself to be better?
Yes.
Is he forcing himself, or is he just being...
It just naturally happened.
Naturally happened. And then he while they're looking at the thing, they're going, cool. He goes, hey, if you need, I know a couple people that have been through this. I'm more than happy to connect to you. I know it's tough. That's a good behavior, right?
Yeah.
But did he have to force that?
No. It became natural.
The easiest, so there's two ways you can have real behavioral shift. Number one, you could do practice every day and do your best to build a habit. And sometimes that's hard.
Yeah.
Or you can shift perspective and get it in seconds. And all of a sudden, without anybody even telling you what the right thing to do is, you do the right thing.
Automatically.
Yeah. So what I like to do is help people shift perspective. If I can help you see something a certain way, now all of a sudden you look at that differently and you operate differently. When I help people realize that the most efficient thing to do is not to eliminate time, but to eliminate waste, you now start being able to take that into your operations. You could take it into finance. You could take it into sales. You could take it anywhere, because you now are looking at it through a new lens. The goal is to get the best outcome in the most reasonable amount of effort, not just a lot of activity in the least amount of time.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by, and sometimes I lead with that. Like that story, that DMV story, I've shared that hundreds of times.
It's a great story.
Because I think it helps people realize, like, look, to get real change in behavior, the fastest and easiest way to do it is to get a shift in perspective.
And I also think that story, for him in that story, things aren't what they appear to be.
Right.
That shift was not only a shift in the moment, it was a shift
Future moments.
of future moments.
Why are older people so much wiser? Because they've been humbled more times.
Yes.
They've been corrected. They've been wrong.
Perceptions are not what they seem to be.
Yeah. When you're young, I mean, let's face it, 18-year-olds know everything.
Yeah.
Right? But the older you get, the less you know.
I've got my kids are on the other spectrum. They're 29, 27, 25, and 21. And I'm a little smarter than I was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Now they're like, oh, wait, Dad actually knew some stuff, right?
Yeah.
They come to you advice. It's funny. They needed your advice at 17, but they didn't come till they were 30.
Yeah. And now I'm a grandfather. So that gives you a complete different perspective.
Yeah. My son's 18, and it's funny. I go to my dad for advice more than he goes to me for advice.
Yeah.
And I'm 43.
Yeah.
My son's 18.
Yeah.
Technically, he should have a lot more questions than I do.
Yeah, but he's smarter. He's smarter.
It's funny. I have this one concept I do with my kid, because I teach this one thing as well, where it's there's dumb people, smart people, and wise people. And dumb people make mistakes and keep making them. Smart people make mistakes, learn from them, don't do them again. And wise people learn from the mistakes of others and avoid them altogether. Yeah. And so my son knows this. And so we have this saying that I say, and he doesn't like it, but sometimes he'll go, like right now, he wanted to get a dog. And he goes, Dad, I'm thinking about getting a dog. He just moved into his own place, like a couple days before that.
Oh, sweet.
And he just got a new job. And the dog he was looking at getting was a very difficult dog to train.
Yeah.
And he has no training experience.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm thinking about getting this dog. And I said, are you asking me if you think I think you should do it? He goes, well, what do you think? I go, I don't think you should do it. He's like, why? I go, you don't know how to train a dog. It's a hard dog to train. You don't have a lot of time. And you just moved into a place and you're still getting your feet set and living on your own. So I don't recommend you do it. And he goes, I think I want to do it. I go, then go be smart. Yeah. Now, what that means to him is learn from your mistakes. Meaning he knows he's going to make mistakes, right? So you're not being wise.
Yeah.
So when I say go be smart, he knows, and and here's his response. He goes, Dad, and I go, no, it's all right. Go be smart. He's like, I know what you're saying. I go, yeah, I know, but go be smart. Nothing wrong with being smart. Just don't be dumb.
And the business owner taking that same thing back. It's like
principle.
It's the principle of being smart.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being smart.
With the actions.
Yeah.
Tell me more, like the GST is now expanding into multiple businesses.
Yeah, well, it accidentally happened first. What we found out was because we were working with business owners that were getting more successful, they started opening up other businesses outside of the gym world.
Correct.
And so,
or had them already.
Yeah. So car detailing, massage, recovery, cryotherapy, real estate, like all these different businesses. They're solar. And there was a bunch of them together because we have a lot of them that are doing over $1 million a year. So I usually gather with those guys.
Yeah.
It's our A-class group. And I asked, I was like, hey, how many of you guys have businesses outside of the fitness space? And like half of them raised their hand. And I said, okay, how many of you guys use some of the learnings that we teach here for gyms? How many of you guys apply them there? And they all looked at each other loud. They're, oh, we were talking about it. We use all your stuff in our other businesses.
Yeah.
And I go, how does it work? They all admit it works better in those businesses in the gym. I said, and well, the reason why what we learned was the economies of scale were just greater. The gym has a lower economy of scale than a solar company or a massage business.
Wealth management business.
Wealth management business, right? So because of that, I learned that it's not that my principles were more valuable in one than the other. It's just they can go further outside of the gym world because of the economy of scale.
They're more scalable.
Yeah, so I was like, man, how many of you guys would find value if I opened this up to non-gym owners? And all of them were like, absolutely, because we're realizing the value. We're all learning from each other's businesses outside of our businesses from each other.
Yeah.
And so that's just starting.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
How do people find you?
How can they?
Yeah.
I would say LinkedIn's a pretty good spot. Mike Arce. They could also just go to
spell that.
My last name's Arce.
Right. I just want to make sure that people got that.
Yeah, pronounce like the middle letters. So Arce. And Instagram's pretty active too, but I would say LinkedIn is probably a better way.
So now when somebody comes into your ecosystem, is it mastermind type style? Are they flying in, or do you have technology that you're deploying? You have a team? Describe the program.
It's a coaching program.
Okay.
That has a mastermind built in, right?
Cool.
So you're going to learn from the other people for sure. But so when I hear mastermind, what that looks like to me is usually anywhere from 1 to 4 events per year where all the different members go up and share different things.
Yeah.
And then you learn
hot seat type thing.
Hot seat stuff, right? Coaching program is different. We believe that it's important to really help that person learn how to think on their own, how to be able to come up with solutions. So we start with first teaching them, hey, like, what is the job of a CEO? And once they know that, it's clear, right? They're like, okay, now I know my job.
Yeah.
And then we go, okay, now the next thing is, what is the job of the business? Okay, great. Now they know that. That's clear. Okay, great. Now what is the job of marketing? Okay, great. Now they know that. That's clear. Because right now the CEO is just doing random stuff, and everyone's doing different things. It's funny. You have 100 CEOs. And out of the 100 CEOs, everyone's doing different things.
Yeah.
But when you have basketball, it's like, no, we're all shooting, we're all dribbling, we're all rebounding, right? Like that's what we're doing. Like we know the job. And if you're a point guard, we're all bringing the ball up the court. If you're a quarterback, we're all throwing the ball. So if you know your job in that position, you have clear understanding of what your job and purpose is in the company. Clarity, which lack of clarity creates procrastination. Not only lack of clarity creates procrastination, but also lack of energy from the thing.
Yeah.
But usually, if you have clarity, you can't wait to act.
Correct.
But when you don't know what the first step should be, that's where you have paralysis by analysis. So we bring clarity to the CEO role. We bring clarity to the business role. We give them clarity to the marketing role, and then from there, everything's so much easier. And we have calls that we do 3 times a week, like group coaching calls. And they're also in cohorts, small groups that we purposely select who's in these calls, up to 8 people.
Beautiful.
And they meet every month, and they go through their numbers. And then we identify what are the KPIs that are really like standing out. So they actually learn how to do that for each other. So like, hey, why is your labor cost going up to 48%? Or hey, why is your marketing budget so much higher? Like, is that on purpose? So they're learning how to ask questions with each other. And so they're getting smarter together. And we also never give advice, but teach from experience. So you're not allowed to say, hey, you should do this. It's more of, here's what I've done in that situation. Here's how it worked for me.
Here's why it worked, and here's why I think it worked.
Or here's why it didn't work.
Correct.
Right.
I think why it didn't work.
Yeah. And the reason I like that is 2 things. Number one, I think asking what did you do is a dumb question, because what you did might not work for me.
Right.
So like, let's say you had a really great marriage and I had a really bad marriage.
Yep.
And I wanted to go, hey man, what do you do for your marriage? Like, how do you work through this to be a great husband? And you were like, oh man, I every morning, my wife and I, we sit on the patio and we have coffee for like 20 minutes and we talk about, our day, what we're going to do. And then at night, we for about an hour, we hang out, same thing, patio, open up a beer, just talk, or a wine. And then twice a week, we experience a new restaurant. And wow, okay, cool. So I go home and I go, hey babe, here's what we're going to do.
Mike does this.
Here's
John does this.
Now here's the thing. How old are your kids?
29, 27, 26, and
Exactly.
21. And I have
Now,
a granddaughter that's 4 months old.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah.
Now I have a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 18-year-old. So my wife hears this plan of what I'm going to do, and she goes, "You know how hectic my mornings are?"
And what planet are you talking about?
What do you think? At night, you want an hour? Do you know how drained I am by the end of the day to do an hour just talk? And I have Hashimoto's and I have an allergy to everything. You think I could go experience a new restaurant? You know how hard it is to find a restaurant that has food I can eat? No, this is terrible. I'm getting stressed just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then I can go, wow, so my wife's a problem. But it's not necessarily that. The wrong question was, what do you do? If I would ask, how do you think? Then you would have said, well, I think about my wife's love language, and for her, it's quality time. Like, that's important to her. And then I think about, like, hey, what do we have, like, throughout the day? Well, yeah, she likes to experience new restaurants. We have a lot of time in the morning. We have a lot of time at night. So now I can go back and be like, well, my wife's love language is acts of service and physical touch. So maybe I could just give her a massage, like, once a day, just, like, come up to her while she's at the computer working. What if I could help her in the morning with the kids? Because I know it's a stressful time. So I didn't ask, what do you do? I asked, how do you think? And now I can take the same principle thinking and be able to come up to my own, what do I do? So the reason I like the advice of being eliminated in the experience share is because I get to hear the thought process and how you thought about it, but also I get the confidence. I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't act because of confidence. We had given the advice to we are okay because we're coaches, right?
Yeah.
We believe. So we had given the advice to put in place a time where you actually increase pricing at least once a year, if possible, right? And nobody wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody was terrified. We had one person do it, and she had increased her pricing by 20% and had nobody cancel out of 280 members. So I go, hey, can you go up on stage and just share that?
Yeah.
So she did. We had over 80 some people in the next week raise pricing with a less than 3% churn with an average of a 10% increase in pricing. So the reason—
And all that falls to the bottom line.
Yeah, all of it. Now, the reason that worked is because there was an experience share, not advice. Because when I gave advice, it didn't work. Experience share. Why? I'm okay jumping off a cliff into water, but not until I see a line of wet people already ready to jump off, because I know you've been doing it, right? So now I feel safe. There's evidence, there's safety. But jumping off this cliff on my own, and I don't know what I can land on. Well, these people, they're not afraid of raising pricing. They're afraid of the unknown. That's what we're afraid of. I'm not afraid of a lion at the zoo. I'll take a selfie with one. I'm afraid of a lion in my house.
And those KPIs, right? When you start thinking about, your everything that's going into the performance of a gym or any other entrepreneurial space, if you understand what moves the KPIs and you're willing to experiment with pricing, with negotiation of cost of goods, your labor costs, the way you're staffing, the way you're doing things, like you can literally drive so much more profit to the bottom line. Like, what do people, like on average, people coming in, you were mentioning the gross and I kind of stopped you. Like, you're getting a lot of these companies to go over 100,000 where the average one's doing 25. What kind of increase of profit are they seeing?
That we don't measure because it is tricky. I don't think the measurement of that would be valuable because everyone's goals are a little different. So, for example, we've got one guy where his goal is to expand to several locations. And so with that being said, he's okay with this first business not being as profitable because he's looking at building a team that operates without him and also taking the excess staff for the next locations that he's opening simultaneously so they can get trained. So that's an example, like, that's off. Another one.
But the profitability is being muted by the startup of the new one.
Like his plans.
Yeah, but the first one is doing it. But if that first one wasn't profitable to go do that, he couldn't make that
on P&L.
investment.
If you were to eliminate his future plans, his P&L will probably show like a 20-some% profit, right?
Exactly.
And then you have another.
And you can't let that get forgotten.
No, you can't. You have to look at the P&L that way.
And my decision of that 20% increase is to invest it here versus somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's the key to your growth also. Like, when we're looking at a wealth management side, it's like, well, where are you going? Like, yes, you should save money, but but that's not where the money should go. The money should be invested over here.
Yeah. Yeah, because so with wealth management, the idea is how do we keep our money working for us when it's not being used? Like, so wealth management, I'm sure you're probably annoyed as hell when you hear people just have all their money in savings.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's just murdering it. So,
or it's all in one stock. And it's like, okay, that's beautiful when it's working.
Yeah, I don't even know if I call it a stock.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying if they have it just in one stock.
Yeah, they have it in one vehicle. They have it in one
got it
element.
all in Apple, right?
Yeah,
so,
like, okay, that's great, but when it's not, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, as a wealth manager, I think, one of the big jobs is how do we keep your money working where they're like little soldiers out there and their job is to go out there and capture more soldiers, right?
Yeah, okay, so we look at your business and it's like, okay, you're not investing back in marketing. And if you put more money into marketing, you would get those extra clients, which would be a much greater return. Like, why would you put money in something that's going to make 5 or 8 or 10% when you can make 50?
Right. Or like right now we can't, we have, let's say $300,000 in our savings, and we can't comprehend at this moment a logical plan where we can use $300,000 to the business right now. So we can see where we could put 15 grand into it, but with that other money, let's see if we can put in a hard money lending fund where it can bring us back 9-10% returns. Yeah. Or let's see if we can invest that into, acquiring another business right now that is struggling, but it could actually help this business. So I agree. I don't
you got to be thinking about the possibilities.
Yeah, the money, I look at it as soldiers. They're every dollar is a little soldier, and you and your other soldiers, your job is to go out there and capture more soldiers.
Right.
Not to hang out, like smoking a cigarette. And
like the football, but like the football team, there's a role.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have the people that are on the field, and then you have the supporting players that are off the field. Not even players, the roles, right? Like the role of cash is not necessarily, sometimes people make the mistake that everything's now somewhere where I don't have access to it. And my grandfather used to tell me, ready money is Aladdin's lamp.
Ready money is Aladdin's lamp. Okay, break that down.
So break it down, like Aladdin the genie, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have available capital, when an opportunity presents itself,
I see what you're saying.
You're going to miss it.
Yeah, you have to say no to an opportunity, which is an opportunity cost in itself.
Right, and he's like, it doesn't matter what it's making. What it matters is what's the availability.
Yeah.
And if I could take that money at some point and deploy it to something that I get 100x on, that was far better than getting 8 or 9.
Yeah, there's a cool phrase. It was like, I think it's your best ability is your availability.
Correct.
Right, or your reliability as well. I think, but there's different abilities.
But it's the role.
Yeah.
That the business is a major role of what's putting all the players and the soldiers in your plan.
And that's what it is.
But getting them to line up.
Sure, it is availability, right? Because same thing. If you have a team of basketball players, it doesn't matter of all your abilities. If you're not available, none of those matters. It doesn't matter, he's reliable. Yeah, but he's not available.
And if everybody's a center, on that team and you're playing a team that's rounded, the team that's rounded is going to beat you all day long.
You're in balance.
Right? Yeah. So you got to be careful of the shoulders.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely like teaching that as well. That's so every October, November-ish, we actually have a money strategy event. And that's where we bring in people that are really experienced in this. And maybe you come down, right? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll be here.
And they basically are teaching, like different ways to look at how to leverage money, how to use money. Because we have a lot of people that in our program that are making enough money to where they don't know how to responsibly reinvest that money back into the business because the business doesn't need that much money.
Right. So it's now where do you deploy it outside?
Yeah.
And then when you're ready to deploy it, how do you strategically deploy it so you get the maximum tax efficiency, credit risk, asset protection, the structures, the legal side.
Right. So that's like 25% of that event. And then the other 75% is like understanding the P&L, the balance sheet, cash flow,
Love it.
KPIs, and then also helping them build strategy for the following year. A lot of people have a very hard time. I don't think they even know the difference between strategy and tactics, so they use those words interchangeably. They're like, so what's your Facebook strategy? That doesn't even make sense. Like,
there's an overall strategy to your marketing.
Yeah. Like a strategy, like Facebook's strategy in 2012 was go mobile. Like that's it. So that means everything that we deploy from here on, every tactic is going to be around us going mobile. Yeah. We got this cool idea. Great. Does it help us go mobile? No, then we're not doing it. Yeah. Right. So strategy is usually something you can explain in like less than a sentence. It's like a quick one phrase.
This is an incredible conversation. Business owners don't understand their P&L. So they don't understand their tax return, and they don't understand, am I paying the right amount of tax, right? So the layers become like, you might have a really successful business, but it's leaking soldiers everywhere, right? And like, let me bring my soldiers back, okay? This is what the Money Isn't podcast is designed to get people to think strategically about their thinking, and am I thinking properly about that deployment? And can I protect myself better? Can I reduce risk? Can I reduce fees? Can I reduce the churn? What are the things that I can do to really empower my future wealth and do things? So like, this is what you're talking about is awesome.
Yeah. Well, when you can understand your financial statements, the P&L, the cash flow, and the balance, when you can understand those, you have a clear understanding of the resources you have to work with. And strategy is really just an organization of resources. Yeah. That's it. Like, okay, what's our strategy? Well, let's see. If we're a football team, we go, okay, well, what's our what was our problem last year? Well, it wasn't scoring. We were the highest scoring team in the NFL. Out of every other team, we scored as many points as anybody else. Ooh, our defense. Look at this. We had more points scored on us than any other team in the league. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Our main focus needs to be defense. So what are we going to do? Let's see. Okay, we got to get some defenders on the team. We got to get some assets.
We got to recruit.
Right, we got to recruit, right? So we're going to collect some assets, some resources. And now from here, we got to create a strategy around it. What's our strategy? What's something that's memorable that we can remember? Okay, so, and a metric that we can measure. Okay, here's the deal. No team next year will have a lower points scored on number than us, period. Next year, our points scored on as a team is going to be lower than anybody else. That's our strategy, right? That's our strategy statement. Okay, great. So now all the tactics from this point on are going to help fulfill that. So Correct. What are some tactics? Okay, great. Hey, coach, I got a really great play that can help us get a couple more runs in, get a couple more yards downfield. Sounds like an offensive tactic. How does that help us make sure that teams score less points on us than any other team next year? Yeah. Well, it doesn't. Table it then. I don't want to hear it this season.
Correct.
Hey, I got a really great strategy on how we can get more sacks on the quarterback. All right, I want to hear about it. Yeah. That's great, right? Because that will help us ensure teams score less on us.
Correct.
Everything about this. Hey, we got this new player we want to recruit. What's his deal? He's the best quarterback. I don't want to hear it.
Don't care.
How about this guy? He's the best defender that anybody's ever seen in the NCAA. Great. Bring him on board.
Awesome.
Right? Hey, we got this new coach. What's his deal? He was the best defensive coach. Get him on. Right? So now we're clear on what to say yes to, and we're clear on what to say no to. That's what a strategy does.
That's awesome.
And then your tactics all align with that. And then techniques are really how you did that strategy. So a technique might be, strategy is we're going to go after college students in the 5-mile radius. The tactics might be we're going to run Facebook ads and we're going to do Instagram ads. The techniques are we're going to offer a 1-week free trial with, videos of our members giving testimonials and case study. Cool.
Love it.
And so once you understand that line, it's easier to just kind of keep following the jelly beans down.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Mike Arce. Arce, sorry.
You can say Acre. I own a land investing company too.
So no, just when I saw it, I kept putting it in my brain like that. And in the loud rumor, you have a lot of material on the website, don't you? You have like downloads and things that people can respond to. If no matter what business that you're in, I haven't met anybody that doesn't want to get shit done.
Yeah.
All right. And I love the name of that, the GST, and I think this is really, really cool. So I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing.
I appreciate you.
This has been amazing.
Thank you. Same here.
Yeah, this is really good. This is really good.